everybody. It is Tuesday afternoon, and this is the Perspective Shifters. And today, oh my gosh, huge topic that we're going to be talking about today is the 2-week notice with the queen of the exit strategy. And we are going to be covering some awesome things. And as you hop on today, make sure you tell us hi. This is the Perspective Shifters. This is where we talk about all kinds of hot topics and solve some problems while we're at it, right? And we pull forward all of those things that we want to talk about and nobody really kind of does. So we put that platform out there and talk about it. My name's Erin Strayer. I'm a business strategist and growth consultant for female entrepreneurs, up-leveling them and putting out their awesomeness into the world. I'm kind of stumbling all over my words because I'm super excited about our guest today. This is the Amy Coates, let's just capitalize that out there in front of her. She is the queen of exit strategy from the corporate world. She has her own story, developed her own strategy plan, and worked it and made it happen. So, hi, honey. I'm so glad you're here with us today.
I'm so excited to be here. So excited, finally.
So, I know. It seems like we've been waiting forever for this day. It seems like it's like, oh my gosh, it's like, it's here. Yeah. So, again, as you guys are coming on, I know there's some people on live with us. Make sure you say hi to us. We'll give you a little shout out. But yeah, let's dive into your backstory there. You were corporate for 10 to 15 years. Loved every minute of it.
Yeah, right. I loved it until I didn't love it. And then I really didn't love it. Yeah.
Did something huge happen, trigger? I know what happened for me in my journey and what triggered me. I got sick. Hi, Ashley. Thanks for jumping on with us. But did something happen specific for you that was a trigger point for you?
Yeah, I don't, I was 39, 38. So maybe it was almost like that 40-year, me turning 40 that I realized, what am I doing? Not loving what I did. I met my boyfriend at my corporate job, actually. We've been together for 10 years. And when he left, I felt like I don't know, not that it depended on him. I was there first, but I was just like, he's doing his thing. Why can't I do my thing now? You know what I mean? And then I just started to not, love the company and everything. So it just kind of happened that way. So, and then I just really focused on figuring out what am I going to do? How am I going to make this work? And how do I get out of this? Because I'd been in it for so long and it's really all I knew. So,
and that's that sticky container that we get all of hi Cheryl, thanks for jumping on, that we get stuck in so often is, oh well, what else do you know how to do, Amy?
Right.
Do you have any other qualifications, Amy?
Right.
Gosh, you're so good at what you do. Do you really want to leave?
Mm-hmm. I got that a lot.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Because I had kind of a cushy job too. I had been there for 12 years. Flexible schedule, making good money. I pretty much, I was the only one in my department, so I did everything. I was who they depended on. So, a lot of people,
blue girl.
Yeah. Yeah. So a lot of people are like, why would you walk away from that? It's like, but I'm making money for someone else. You're
punching the clock.
Yeah.
For someone else. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So at some point in time, that became not very fulfilling anymore.
Very much so.
Right?
Very much so. Plus, I, as flexible as it was, I worked on every vacation because no one else knew my job. Wow. So I'm in Ireland in this little pub trying to get wireless to do payroll for the company. You know what I mean? Things like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Because nobody else can do your job. Because they've never cross-trained anybody.
Right.
Because they're so short-staffed and you're, right? Anybody else have that problem where you didn't work?
Yeah. And there was no appreciation for that either. What I went through to make sure I did a good job too. There's no, other than me just having a job and being paid and getting benefits, there's no like
You don't even get attaboys, do you?
nothing.
I know. And that suck? It's like it's horrible, isn't it? Like you don't even get the thanks for being the only person that can do that job in that company and the glue that holds that part together. Ashley says she's the only one in her department, and the only one who generates lead for the whole company. Yeah, right? So you're feeling it too, Ash. Like,
absolutely.
They love you.
Yeah.
you don't get that vacation that you earned.
Right. So true. At least now when I do that stuff, it's like I feel good about it. It's like, oh, it's more fun, it's more rewarding, and then, people that I have helping me, I'm much more appreciative of what they do because I know what it's like to be on the other side of that.
Yeah. Yeah, and isn't that funny, that lesson that you've learned right there? Like, appreciate the people that work for you. Like, come on, where'd the human go in? Right. Oh, you just owe it to us?
Right. Yeah. Right.
The loyalty's gone.
Right.
You're lucky to have a job.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, at some point, your boyfriend left and you're like, okay, what am I doing? And you started to devise, here, I'm leaving. Started to set it up.
I did it secretly. I know. I didn't even know like this whole online space existed really. I didn't have a Facebook page. I wasn't very active. I had Instagram or Twitter, whatever was popular at the time.
Is that called MySpace?
Yeah. That's probably it. Oh, that's so funny. But I realized that I could take, what I was doing into the online space and offer this virtually, and I didn't know that existed. And I was like, why don't I just do that? I can create my own schedule, hire people to help me and really do the things I actually love to do. So I did do that. And then I don't know if you want to get into it right away, but then I felt like after I gained momentum fairly quickly because everyone needs those services, project management, bookkeeping, payroll, all of that stuff. So it wasn't necessarily hard to find clients, but it was hard to find the right clients, I would say. And so I scaled quickly, but I realized I was kind of back into my corporate job. I had 3 bosses then, I had 3 clients, and I had 3 people that I was basically accountable to. And that time freedom just wasn't there right away. So I regretted that a little bit, but I loved the whole process of going from corporate to online because I learned a lot of what not to do and what to do.
And so that's valuable right there too, isn't it?
I think actually that's what's helping me now with the 2-week notice society is I went through those pains and mistakes, and I'm able to kind of learn from it and implement the right steps, which now helps my clients also as well. But yeah, it was a tough process, but I don't regret it at all. I loved it.
Yeah. And, even though you feel like they're mistakes or oopses or I'm never doing that again, whatever you want to, right? Whatever you want to call that, it's like, holy cow, now you can plug that right into how you coach and teach and mentor your clients because you already did it. Like, let's not recreate the wheel here, people. Guess what? I already did that and it didn't work.
Don't go down that path. I'm telling you.
Yeah. So you were doing both your new subcontracting behind the scenes while you were still working your job, trying to figure out how to navigate that, right? So time management was probably a huge factor for you, wasn't it?
It really,
both.
Yeah, it really was. I was basically working 2 full-time jobs. I felt like, because I was trying to grow I got a client fairly quickly, but I was still trying to scale that business. It was called Virtual CO Solutions. And I was trying to scale it as well so I could leave my job because I had an income goal in mind that I needed to achieve before I could leave my 9 to 5. So
you got to have that padding.
Yeah, exactly. And I was concerned about that. So
scary to go without a net.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the other thing. I did build up savings as well. I kind of cut myself off from all those extra. Yeah.
Cut your shoe budget out.
That's so. I could have cut more. Now working from home, it's like I never have to really wear shoes.
Right. I know.
As much as I love them, but yeah, it was a little bit about 6 months before I was fully able to leave my 9 to 5 and go full time in my online business. So
that's actually a pretty amazing feat that it only took you 6 months.
True.
To build up clientele and to build up and replace the income from your JOB to be able to leave. That's pretty impressive. And that takes like some massive strategy planning.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
Yes.
Girl.
Strategy. So, I would say time management and strategy are probably, and then mindset, because I was not in an entrepreneur mindset. I think I am actually just becoming much more entrepreneurial, I would say. Even though I felt like my position at my 9 to 5 was kind of entrepreneurial, I mean, I was basically running the company, not from a sales perspective, but just operational perspective. So I understood that part, but having to make those decisions sometimes, it's easy for me to judge, maybe my boss's decisions, but when I have to make them, it's like, oh.
Yeah, like it hurts too, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
It's your time. It's your money.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you want to plug that in?
Right.
Do you really need to make another budget for that?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. So it was managing my time. I did work a little bit sometimes on my side business at my 9 to 5, which I don't always advise to everyone, but I'm sure everyone does it as well. And then just really figuring out what I needed to make, how to make this online space work. I took a ton of courses. Some were good, some not so good. Really trying to figure out what I wanted to do. One of the biggest mistakes I learned was I wanted to offer everything. Oh, I can do email management. I can do, membership sites. I don't need to be doing that. It's like, it just was going to it cost me more agony by trying to be everything to everyone than figuring out what I was really good at and what I loved to do. And kind of find those clients that needed those specific tasks from me. So that was a huge lesson.
And that's sometimes even a pretty difficult task all in itself, is to find your people.
True.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you find that your messaging and how you put it out there is directly related to the clients you attract?
100%.
Yeah.
And I've learned a lot with that. I'm still learning that, tweaking.
Yeah. I think that's an ongoing kind of thing that morphs and changes with you and with how, when you up level yourself, your clientele changes with you as you grow. Do you agree with that? And then you have to speak different to them? I
do. One thing I just learned with this most recent launch that I did was I did a 5-day challenge, and what I asked the audience I thought they wanted to learn more about time management, a little bit what we're talking about today, because I thought that's the level that they were at. When I did a poll in my Facebook group, they wanted to learn about sales funnels. I didn't even know that they were at that level or interested in that. So it's just kind of an example of like knowing your audience and how you speak to them. I've been doing Facebook Lives and tons of, education on time management and a little bit of strategy. And they were becoming at this level of sales funnels and working on that. So now I'm doing a challenge with that. But it's interesting on how so much to your point is you have to know your client and know what they're looking for.
And how genius to actually ask them.
Right.
What they want. How genius is that? Like, don't just give them what you think they want. Like, ask them what they want and then give them that.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could have probably been more left of what they were wanting.
Right.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Five, sister.
Thanks.
On that, so I want to talk a little bit about now you are full-time. You are a full-time entrepreneur, work from home. And time management is kind of both of our alleys. And I know that off camera we talked a little bit. Hi, Jackie, it's nice to see you. She's like, how do you determine what to charge when you were just starting out in business online, in your online business? That's a good one, Jack.
That is a good one.
Want to address that?
I first struggled with that because I had this mindset issue where even though I had 20 years doing my job in the corporate world, I felt like I was new in the online space. Mm-hmm. Even though it's the same tasks, you need the same, education and history and experience. I just felt like I was brand new again for some reason. So it did take me a little bit to get over this mindset. And the first client that I took on, I gave them a very low ball offer. Sorry to say, but I mean, that's what I did because I really wanted the client, but it also gave me the, kind of the confirmation that I could do this and I could bring people in. But I did regret, setting my price too low for that. So I did obviously raise it, but I think you have to look at what's happening in the marketplace as well. What are people paying? Who, where do you align yourself with the other people in the space that you are in? Because you don't want to overprice yourself. You don't want to outprice yourself, but you also don't want to start too low where you're working in for nothing, basically.
Yeah. So that's market research. Jackie, totally. Back to your question, totally market research. And then value of your worth, right? Like it's okay to lowball that first client to build that confidence and build your self-worth and know you can deliver what you say you're going to deliver, but then scale yourself.
Right.
Like go up to market standard. And that's an easy Google is to Google market standard for what you're offering, Jackie. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I know Jackie's lane is pretty specific too on where she targets, but that's a great question. For that, great advice for sure.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, but you have to be confident too in what you're offering because you don't want to be working a gazillion hours for nothing. You're just not going to love what you're doing, and it's not what you're set out to do. I'm assuming. At least it wasn't what I set out to do.
Yeah, you left the gazillion hours and the working on vacation on purpose.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, how do you working at home? I know for me that it was a big transition for me to actually figure out how to work at home, because even though it doesn't seem like that's that big of a deal, it really is, isn't it? Like figuring out how not to do all the other things that you usually do at home while you're supposed to be working.
Yeah.
Like for me, one of the key things was my office is upstairs in my home. Like I actually have to shut the door. Physically, seriously, I have to shut the door.
Yeah.
That's what did it for me. Otherwise, before that, it was like I was running, I was doing laundry, I was taking stuff out for dinner, I was, letting the dog out, I was doing stuff instead of working. Distracted. Do you have a specific thing that works for you for working from home and being on time and being strategic? Do you have office hours? Set office hours?
I do have some set office hours, but I try to, if I have things that I need to do, I do work at night sometimes. But I have I put everything in my calendar. I like live by my calendar, my Google Calendar. And I pretty much try to, I even put when I'm going to shower in my calendar.
Oh, I love that.
I really, try to stay true to my calendar. I put when I'm going to work out. I don't put when I ate lunch, but things like that. And then specific tasks that I'm going to do. Like, so every morning I have different, where I reach out, like kind of visibility type tasks that I do every morning that I keep in a Trello board that I check off just to make sure that I'm doing them. I try not to check my email till later in the morning, but some days I'm better than others with that. But really trying to schedule my day so that I know I can get things done. I'm also a huge list maker. Like I just have to write it down. I just do. It's just my thing. I love to cross it off.
Girl. I know. Yeah, and the Trello boards work so beautifully for that. If you guys are coming up through the ranks and you're needing something to help you stay on task and to keep things done and organized, Trello is a phenomenal resource until you outgrow it. And that's absolutely beautiful. And it'll work with you for a while. It'll grow with you. So I really I'm sure you do too, Amy. You use it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful resource and taskmaster to help navigate your day.
Right.
So do you get up at the same time every single day?
I do. It's a little bit yeah, I do. I almost can do it without the alarm some days, which is really weird. I guess that happens to some people, but I do. I'm actually kind of a morning person. I like getting up early.
I am too. And do you love getting up for work now?
Yeah, because I don't I literally can just make coffee and walk into my office here and I'm good to go. When
was the last time you were late for work? Or called in for us. What do you call it? I can't even remember anymore. A personal health day.
Yeah. I can do that whenever I want now. It's kind of amazing.
I know. Isn't that great? And you don't have to feel bad about it.
Right?
I know. For me, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, a few months ago, I tell this story a lot, but I met a friend for coffee and we ended up having a 4.5 hour coffee date and I never had to check my phone. Normally my boss would have been calling me. I would have been anxious, sweating, this and that. It's we probably would have went till midnight if we could have, but it was just that was my first realization that I was I can do whatever I want, it's so refreshing.
Yeah. So how long ago did you quit your corporate?
A year ago, almost a year ago.
A year ago. Okay, people, if you're on or watching the replay of this, I just want that to sink and land with you. Seriously, she quit her corporate a year ago. Let it land. That's huge. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Because it's huge, right? I mean, to step out and to step across that fear line, right? Yeah. So that's that mindset part, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fear is huge. I actually ask the people that come into my group, the 3 questions, you can ask them questions before they join your group. Yeah. And their biggest struggle with leaving their 9 to 5 or their biggest reason why they're not is fear. I think 95% of them say fear.
Mm-hmm. Fear of what though? Fear of rejection from family, fear of not making money, fear of...
Those are 2 of the biggest ones. Fear of not being able to, and then health insurance is the 3rd, which is understandable, but there are other options. But fear of, and one funny thing about me is I never told my family or friends or anyone what I was doing.
I didn't either. Not one! I told my husband and that was it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny now it's been 3 years for me since I stepped away from my medical career, but they don't even know what I do now.
Same.
Yeah. They're like, oh, she's still got clothes on. Awesome. And she's still feeding her family. Oh,
Yeah.
she must be doing something okay.
I know.
She might get wick. I don't know. But
I feel like they're always waiting for that like phone call where like, I'm like, I lost it all. Or you know what I mean? Like it's not like, I just feel like
Mom, gotta move in.
they don't like, they're just so confused. So I don't even really mention it to them. Because it's hard for them to understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even like my old coworkers, I didn't even tell them what I was doing when I left. But that's a whole nother story. But
right. So shameless plug here at the end before we let our people go for the afternoon. Do you want to talk about your program? Do you want to talk about how people can find you? Do you want to talk about like, you know, how people can work with you and get all your amazingness?
Sure. I am 2 Week Notice Society pretty much everywhere. My website is 2weeknoticesociety.com. My Facebook page is 2 Week Notice Society, as well as my Facebook group. I do have a freebie on the steps that I took to replace my income in 6 months, which you can find on my website. It's on my Facebook page. And then I just launched my Thrive Without the 9-to-5 group program, and I will be relaunching that at the beginning of 2018. But I love it. It's an amazing program. I keep it limited to the amount of women in the group. And we really focus on, you can either be in your 9-to-5, but we're working on an exit strategy to get you out of there, hopefully by summer, so you can be at home with your kids. Or you can be starting your online business, and we work through getting the foundation of your business set up so that you can scale it and you are good to go. And you don't have to make all those mistakes that I made that we talked about at the beginning.
Right. Right. And it's beautiful. And right. So are you taking a wait list for if you already launched this last quarter one, are you taking a wait list for January?
Yes. If you want to join today, it started yesterday. So if you still want to get in, if anyone still is like desperate to
get me in right now,
yeah. I'll still, we can work together on that. Otherwise, I do take one-on-one clients. I take a limited number, and that is something we can talk about as well if anyone is interested in that. So
that's beautiful. I have one question to ask. It's one of my favorites, and I love to ask my guests this. So you ready?
I'm ready.
Ooh, bring it on.
I don't know what it is.
So if you had any advice to give young Amy, your younger self, what would you tell young Amy?
How young?
Like that.
Okay. I think to be more confident in who I am. I think just in the last year of this becoming an entrepreneur, having to show up on Facebook Live, do, interviews and podcast things like this, I've really had to be confident in who I am and what I have to offer. And prior to that, when I was in my corporate job and even younger in college, I think I just kind of hid. I just, I don't think I loved what I was doing. I think I went to college and got a corporate career because that's what my parents wanted for me. And that was their definition of success. And so I don't think I really ever became who I was. So I wish I would have figured that out earlier and just been more confident in who I was and who I wanted to be. And I'm happy that I'm doing it now, but yeah, I think it would have been interesting to see what would have happened if I would have discovered that sooner. So
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I have loved having you with us, Miss Amy Coates. She is the founder and creator of 2 Week Notice Society. If you want to find her, you can find her anywhere at that. Tagline there, 2 Week Notice Society. And again, my name's Erin Strayer. If this has been of value to you, please, please, please let us know in the comments. Share this video out to your friends, your coworkers, your family, your team, your tribe, if this has been of value to you. And that's one thing that we hope to bring forward on this platform, again, is that we talk about these hot topics and these stress points, and we bring people and experts forward that actually have gone through them and have come out the other side. So Amy, I super appreciate you being here. She is our corporate exit strategist expert. And I can't speak. And for you guys that have been on live with us, we super appreciate it. Thanks, Cheryl. Thanks, Jackie. And we're glad that you guys have been joining us today. So we'll see you right back here soon, people.